Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm doing something a little bit different on my channel. I'll be featuring 3 brand new palettes that were just sent to me from different companies and swatching them, kind of looking at them closely with you and deciding if it's worth going out and spending your hard-earned money on or not, because I think all of these are at least $40 or more. This one, the TooFaced, this new one with NikkieTutorials, is $56, but it does have some more stuff in it. So we're gonna look at the quality of the shadows inside, and some of them have other products inside as well, and see which one is worth it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we'll start with this much hyped TooFaced The Power of Makeup by NikkieTutorials. This is coming out on August 15th, and it's $56. Now when I opened it, I was so excited because her eye looks are just like crazy in the best of ways. I was still excited because I had to figure that her quality would be incredible and that she wouldn't approve anything other than incredible. So it's the first thing in here, and there's some other stuff as well, is this really thin palette. I love how thin it is. I think the packaging is awesomely glamorous. So when you open it, there's like the little thing. It's bright pink here, and it says, The Power of Makeup, show us your looks, hashtag Nikkie4 TooFaced. So in here, you've got 9 shadows, you have 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, and then Champagne Truffle, which I presume she uses as a highlight, so it's a highlight. It's in one of their chocolate bar palettes as an eyeshadow, but I mean, you could totally use it as a highlight. And of course, she always has like that ba-bam highlight, so it makes sense that she would love that kind of a thing. So let's start with the shadows. Here are the swatches on my arm. In order, it is Ivy, and then Sugar Coated is like that light pink. Then there's Frosted Yum, which is silvery. Then Irresistible, which is this nice gold. And then one of my favorites, this medium cooler brown called Painkiller. Then there's this warm deep brown called Makeup and Chill. And then there's this kind of deep teal called Mystic Hour. Then this bright purple called Wham Bam. And then this perfect deep black matte called Wanted. So looking at the colors, the only one I was kind of unimpressed with was this white one called Ivy. It just, I mean, that's like 8 swatches just over and over and over again. Now with the brush, you can get a little bit more pigmentation, but for me, if I'm using a matte white, I probably want it to really be a matte white, like if I'm going under my brow bone, things like that. But the rest of them were wonderful. This teal one called Mystic Hour kicked up a lot of powder, but I mean, as long as you're tapping your brush off to get rid of the excess, you're gonna be fine. The purple one is kind of interesting. It took a couple swatches, so it wasn't as buttery as the rest, but it's such a cool color, and it's kind of got this like different shift to it that I was like, whatever, it's so cool. My personal favorites, I really like the matte ones that are in here. This medium brown one called Painkiller, I told you is my favorite, mostly because of the shade, because that's one I use all the time to blend colors together. But again, it took a lot of swatches for it. These are where this palette shines. This gold one called Irresistible, the silver one called Frosted Yum, and the light pink one called Sugar Coated. These are incredible. That was one swipe. I mean, they are ridiculous. So, I mean, honestly, I think they should just come out with a trio with those 3 suckers, because that is what makes this palette shine. Now, let's look at the blushes. So they have a peach one and a pink one in here. This peach one is called I Will Always Love You, and the pink one is Justify My Love, and I'm pretty sure these are ones they already have in their range, but she just wanted to include in here. Yeah, the peach one's really, really pigmented. So with no exception, here they are swatched. They're just gorgeous. They're ridiculously pigmented. Personally, with my skin tone, I like the peach one the best, but they're both gorgeous, especially if you have a deeper skin tone. I really think the pink Justify My Love one would look amazing. These usually have pretty long wear times. Their blushes, I think, are really, really nice. So very impressed with both of those. Now, the bronzer that's in here is their classic Chocolate Soleil bronzer, one of my favorites. It's just a gorgeous, it never really swatches well, but it always looks good on the skin, because of course you would be putting it on with a brush. But there it is there. I do like it with my skin tone. If you've got deeper skin though, that's gonna do nothing. Well, I guess it could maybe be a powder for you, but it wouldn't do too much. But it's a good tone for my skin tone. And then Champagne Truffle, like I mentioned, oh my gosh, is crazy glittery. This seems like a toned down version, so maybe they did make it more of like a highlight. So I just grabbed my TooFaced Chocolate Bar palette. The Champagne Truffle in here is right there, and I want to compare it. Yeah, so the one in the actual shadow is much more pigmented. This right here is Champagne Truffle from the actual eyeshadow palette, the Chocolate Bar palette. This is Champagne Truffle in her palette as a highlight. So I do think they might have toned down the formula since it would be used as a highlight, which really makes sense to me. So I think that was probably a good change on their part. However, the Champagne Truffle in the Chocolate Bar palette is amazing. Now, that's pretty awesome in itself, but for $56, that's a lot of money. However, if you think about like the Urban Decay Naked palettes, those are like now, what, $52? So you're spending $4 more and you're getting some blush and some bronzer and some highlight, but there's more. So in the box that you get when you order it, it comes with this little bag inside, and inside the bag, you open, there are some more products. Now, Too Faced is one of my favorite makeup brands, so this is their Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It's their deluxe size, and it's an eyeshadow primer. This stuff is amazing. I have repurchased this quite a few times. There are great drugstore dupes as well, like the Milani eyeshadow primer is fantastic. It's exactly like this, but it is really good. So for it to come with this, and even though this is just a deluxe size, these last a pretty darn long time because you only need a very little bit. So that is an awesome addition to go with these shadows. Not only that, but you get a full size of the new Too Faced sketch marker. And this one's just in black, and these are their liquid black liners. They actually just sent me all of their liners in this, and they have some amazing colors, but of course black is what most of us use each day. Very, very pigmented. So, and the fact that it's full size, again, that's amazing. And there's more. You also get a trial size of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which is really, really nice if you like just light, flirty lashes. I think it adds a decent amount of volume, but it's not like the best mascara I've ever used, but it's still pretty good. And then there's one more thing in here, and it's their Too Faced Glamour Dust, and it's in Glitterly. That's funny. So I haven't opened this yet. Oh my, so there's nothing stopping it. So it's literally glitter, oh my gosh. I mean, do you guys see that? That's just like one little swipe. Tons of glitter. So with all of this together, I mean, you've got an eyeshadow primer, you've got the eyeshadow, blush, bronzer, highlight, mascara, liner, and some glitter. You're pretty much good. Is there anything missing? Oh, just like face stuff like foundation, concealer. But I mean, there's so much you can do with this. So I thought, wow, that's a lot for $56 compared to some other things you buy for like $50 and you don't get all this extra stuff. So in my opinion, if you're really in the market to buy a new palette or you want something that really gives you a lot of options, this is an awesome find because it does have so much, and it's not just the palette, but it also has all those extras. And of course, the NikkieTutorials one comes with a little glamour guide where it's got pictures of her, she's so cute, and just different looks she's created step by step, which I think is really cool. If you're really wanting some inspiration for some really different looks, that one is so gorgeous. It'd be perfect for just like parties or even like New Year's Eve, things like that, Christmas. So I love that, you know, it's the stuff you have, and once you have this, you can genuinely do any of these looks. So I think that's cool. Now I know this is going to be sold on Too Faced website, of course, but it's also at Sephora and Ulta and tons of other places. So I will link this below if you're interested. It doesn't come out until the 15th, so depending on when you're watching this video. So the next one is $42, and it's from Pure, and it's their Love Your Selfie 2. Now they did come out with an original Love Your Selfie palette, which I've not tried, but this is the second one. This one, I think the packaging is really cute. It's got that white with the shimmery silver glitter all over it, which is just really pretty. And on the back, it has a listing of all the names of all the shades. So I'm gonna try and like read that. Oh, it's on there too, sweet. It's also on the front. So it has a little thing on it that says, embrace your beauty inside and out. So in the palette, you'll see there are 8 eyeshadows, and then it looks like there's kind of 2 highlighters and a bronzer. It also comes with a lip gloss, a lip liner, and then yes, this is my favorite mascara. Okay, it also comes with a mascara, and this is their fully charged mascara. Hold on, I have the full size. So we might as well just start with the mascara. This is the Pure fully charged one. Now it comes with the smaller one. It doesn't come with the full size. However, so many studies have said that there's not much of a difference in the amount of time you use these. It's about the same before they're kind of dried out, so it doesn't really matter. But this one, I can show you the brush. So the brush is just kind of a simple, regular mascara brush, but there's something about it. It says it's powered by magnetic technology. I don't know what that means, but I cannot stop using it. Today I had to force myself to use another mascara just to try some other stuff out, but I love this so much. So that is an awesome addition. I hadn't realized that was it. So that alone is awesome. So the next thing, we might as well do the lip products while we're at it as well. This is their Velvet Matte Lip Pencil, so it's not necessarily a lip liner. And it's in the shade Focal Point. And let's just see. Ooh, it's really, really creamy. So there it is right there. A really nice berry color. I feel like this would be absolutely perfect in the fall. I just got excited looking at it. It's so pretty. And it's just so creamy. So that is pretty awesome. It's nice and small. You can fit it in your purse.
And then, you can fit a lot of things in your purse.
And then the lip gloss is their lip gloss in the shade Silhouette. And it just looks like it's a really nice, simple color that you could probably wear. Oh, it's a little bit warmer. It's so pretty though. Just a doe foot applicator. It's got some nice color, some nice sheen. I'm so tired of all the matte lips, so I'm excited to be branching out some more. I think all of us are tired of it. But this is just a nice, pretty color. It adds some life to your lips, but it's not too light, but it's not too dark. And neither one really have any smell. So now let's get to what we're all here for, the eyeshadows. So here are some swatches. So in order, the first shade, which is kind of a stark white, is called Headshot. The next one that's a little bit harder to see is called Statuesque, and it's just a nice matte, very light brown. The next one is called Panorama. And then next to that, there's Panorama is kind of a more warm toned, nice shimmery brown. And then the next one, Abstract, is a more cool toned shimmery brown. And then the next one is kind of a light pink, is called Pose. The nice burgundy shade is Sketch. The deeper golden is called Megapixel. And then the very last one, it's kind of a nice deep green, is called Paparazzi. So all of these were very buttery. Very impressed with these two shades here, which was Panorama and Abstract. They're just so buttery, and those are my favorite kind of deeper shimmery shades to just put on my lid, kind of blend into the crease and go. They're kind of like those one shadow kind of looks that I'm falling in love with. But again, it's a nice mix of colors where they do have some lighter ones. I wish they had maybe one more matte medium brown. However, the bronzer in this, which we'll look at in a second, you could probably use for that. Anyway, and I really like that they incorporated like this kind of more red toned one too, just to switch it up. The only one that I felt like wasn't showing up as well as I'd wanted was, again, just like in the other palette, that kind of lighter brown, which is called Statuesque. Again, that could be more, you know, just looking at my skin tone, it blends in really well to that, but even still, there's just not as much pigment to it as the others. So now moving on to the highlight shades. So in order, the first one is called Overexposed, and it's a very white toned highlight. The middle one, which is so gorgeous, is called Photogenic. And then the bronzer color is called Composition. These were insanely buttery, all three. So like this bronzer compared to the Chocolate Soleil, this one swatches really well. It's a nice kind of warm brown, so it is definitely more of a bronzer shade versus like a contour shade. The middle one, the peach one, Photogenic, honestly, for me, I could probably use as a blush. For others, it would be more of a highlight. And then the really white one is kind of a little bit more of a like matte radiance type of thing. Where
matte radiance doesn't really make sense.
But like a satin, where it's not super shimmery, but it would highlight the areas you want. So it'd be really good at facial highlighting as well. So those, I'm very impressed with the formula. So for this palette for 42 bucks, that's a lot. Again, comparing 42 to 56, of course the other one came with like an eye primer and stuff, but this one comes with lip stuff. So it just depends on maybe what you're looking for. And maybe that $14 difference really is gonna make or break you, so you'd rather do something like this. I'm giggling about all these kind of all-in-one palettes. It makes me think of like, do you remember when Mary Kay, and maybe they still do, I'm sure some of you guys will know, like the all-in-one palettes, you could put your blush in and some eyeshadows, and then there'd be like a little area for like your lipstick or your lip gloss on the side that shuts down over it. This is what it makes me think of, but I don't mind it so much. But I really, really was impressed with the eyeshadow colors on this one. And the Love Your Selfie palette also comes with recommended like looks you can do, which I think is always pretty helpful. So the last palette we're going to talk about today is the IT Cosmetics Superhero palette. If you follow me on Snapchat, you saw me swatching these on there when I first got this, and kind of the eye look I did with it then. It's supposed to be an anti-aging palette. They said they developed the formula for these shadows with plastic surgeons, where they've got, you know, collagen and all these different ingredients. They have this separated into different sections. So there's the superhero nudes down here, these three. In the middle at the bottom, it's the superhero neutrals. Then there's the superhero liners, which you can use wet or dry. And then the top part are their eye foundations. So those are supposed to be so creamy and developed so perfectly that they can be primers, they neutralize the skin on your eye, so they're perfect for bases without using a separate eye primer, which I think is actually really cool. Of course, you can use these in any way you want, which is what I did, but I think it's kind of neat that they did that. So let's talk about some of the colors and the swatches. So going in order, the first three are those eye foundations, and that is Confidence, which is like the matte white one, and the one next to it that's like kind of more of a yellow tone of the same thing is called Pow. And the third one in, which is really pretty shimmery peach, is called Magical. Then the next three are the superhero nudes. So the first one is Limitless, and then Powerful is kind of the peachy shade, and then Aura is the nice bronzy color. And then the next three are the superhero neutrals, and the gold one is called Unstoppable. Then there is Superstar, which is like kind of a purplish tone. And then the more burnt sienna tone is called Fearless. And then the last three are the superhero liners. And so the blue one is called Bold, the brown one is called Daring, and the black one is called Superhero. Black liner is my superhero. This might be the most perfect palette when it comes to what you might need. And on top of that, every shade was one swipe. And just looking at them, I mean, it's ridiculous how well formulated every single shadow in this palette is. And, you know, all three of these were sent to me. I have, you know, kind of ifs, ands, or buts about all of them with certain little things, but this one, I really don't have much to say. I mean, the worst thing is the shape, because I try and put it in my drawer this way and it doesn't fit. Like, that's my biggest complaint. It's just, it's sleek, it's small, it has a nice mirror if you need it, but on top of that, all the shades are so amazing, and again, it's such a range of colors. It's got enough mattes, enough darker colors for liner. I mean, you can do anything with this. It really is like a superhero palette. This one is $42, as I'd said. Supposedly it's good for anti-aging. I know that it lasts all day without a primer because I've worn it a couple times with no primer and it has not budged. Even like on my lower lash line, I put some of the darker liner colors. I think I used the brown one.
I'm not even sure, maybe it's black, it doesn't matter. They did not move.
So for 42 bucks, if you maybe don't have any palettes and you're ready to like buy a really nice one, this one is amazing. They are all amazing. I can't say, I mean, all of them are, but this is kind of the one that across the board impressed me so much. None of them are huge duds. All of them are very good palettes. I was very impressed. There are plenty of palettes I've tried that like across the board I just did not like, whether it was the colors, whether it was the formula, or maybe tons of them were not pigmented, maybe it didn't blend well, but all three of these are total hits. They're all absolutely awesome. I just found myself really drawn towards this one. Now, the reality is I love all of them. I'm gonna end up using them a lot, but that's just my 2 cents. Let me know if there are other new palettes that you're trying out that you think I should try, or maybe just that you're loving that you want to tell everyone about. Let us all know below, because I know we all like reading about different experiences. Or maybe you've tried some of these palettes and you didn't have a very pleasant experience. Let us know below, because I know, you know, skin types, if you've got oily lids, it totally plays a part in how well a palette will work for you. So let us know below your experiences with these. Other than that, I hope this was helpful. I'll have links and info on pricing and stuff for all three of these down below if you are interested. I hope that you'll subscribe to catch more of my reviews, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.